Hello and welcome back to another video on Pax Day. So I want to go over a few tips that I have for pretty much any player at Pax Day, any skill level. And first and foremost, the biggest tip I can give to any player in the game is severely imbalanced with starting zones. So the way this works, the in-game loop, all the starting zone content is meh, right? It's like a few days you're in the starting zone and then you need to start doing in-game content, okay? Well, that's if you're in a group. If you're slow and you're playing like a casual, it might take like a few weeks. But if you're in a group and you're working as a unit and you're getting goals done and you are leveling dedicated crafters, then you're gonna have trouble if you live in like this zone here, for example. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why right now. So there are dungeons on the map. Okay, so if you type in dungeons, so these are the dungeons. Okay, one, two, three, and then four. Now, if you noticed, these are rivulets. Okay, these are trash. These are pretty much useless. Okay, the good loot comes from the temples, and it seems to be, I've checked all the maps, and it seems to be there's only one temple on each map. So, ideally, on every single map, no matter what starting zone you are, you want to live as close as possible to this temple. Okay, so for this zone, where are we? I don't even know what zone this is. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So it looks like uh, Paladin is the closest to the temple because you just walk south here, cross over, you're at the temple, and then the next closest one would be Donovan and Brian. So yeah, I mean it's severely imbalanced. The temples they have treasure chests, loot boxes, named mobs that drop like special sigils, and you need to farm these dungeons. And they have a cooldown. I believe the cooldown's 1 hour, so it's very important to live near these dungeons. For example, my clan decided to live in Trimmin. Okay, so Trimmin is all the way over here. The fastest way to the temple for us is either go into this dungeon and then clear the entire dungeon to the end, take the secret exit, come out here, and then walk across to the temple and then do the temple. But that's over an hour to just do that. Or we could spend over an hour on foot with the unlimited stam glitch, which I will explain later. That's another tip I'm about to give you. So you start in Trimmin, you come all the way down here, come all the way down here, cross this lake, cross this, come all the way down, and then across. That's over an hour and 20 minutes of running. And you need to do this. So, starting zones are severely imbalanced on where the temple is. The temple should be within the same range of all the starting zones. Okay, they need to balance this. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it needs to be done. This is very unfair that like these starting zones have the crappy dungeons, like tier 1, let's say, dungeons, and then this dungeon, the tier 2 dungeon, is right next to the spawn point. So that's very unfair. So that's tip number 1, is make sure you have a base location extremely close as possible to the temple entrance. All right, so the second tip is going to be animation canceling, and I also recommend using the two-handed spear. Right now I'm using the simple spear. So what you do is you do left, left, and then right click, and then left, left, and then right click. So you're just canceling the third attack. Here, I'll show you the third attack. But it's just like stupid overhand attack. And you don't want that. It takes too long and it just wastes time. So left, left, right, left. And then if you get used to that, like practice it, you can actually attack really fast with it. And if you want to go farther, you can set up a macro for it, auto hotkey, or if you have a fancy mouse, you can set it with that. But yeah, it works in PvP as well as PvE, and it's really good. Um, but yeah, that's going to be tip number 2, is definitely utilize the animation canceling. Uh, I don't think they're going to remove it. It's been in the game over 6 months, so probably going to stay in the game. So practice doing this when you're just standing around. All right, and then tip 3 is organization. So me, this iteration, I chose not to do crafting and to let the other guys learn how to do it since I've already maxed it out before. and they wanted to learn how to do it. So I'm letting everybody else craft. But down here is like all their stuff. Like this is where they organize everything. So I don't typically come down here. What I do is we have drop boxes for the farmers, people that don't have crafting like me. And I just drop everything up here that I bring back to the base. So I teleport in to this spot and then I dump it. And then the crafter's job is to organize it and put it wherever the fuck they want it. That's not up to me. So organization saves a lot of time. And then so I literally just dump and then go back farm whatever I was doing. Um, and then I don't get in the way. It also helps, the crafters keep everything organized and, keep the system flowing. If you're disorganized, you don't know where anything is, it just wastes a lot of time. And it gets annoying and you'll probably quit the game. So definitely organization. All right, and then tip 4 is knowing where everything is on your map, and then how to know where it is. So, for example, inside of these red lines are starting areas, starting zones, and that's where you find like your tier 1, tier 2 resources: stone, flint, clay, some herbs, and deer, some bear. Just basic low tier stuff. But you get through that pretty quickly if you're in a clan. So. The more important stuff, a lot of people are asking where do you get copper, tin, iron, limestone, granite, and the other higher tier resources that you need. So you need to go into the wildlands. So the wildlands are typically in the middle of the map, and then they just are. Each map is different, but for this map, the wildlands, it's anywhere past this red line. So like for us, if you go out here, there's a bunch of iron and tin and copper, granite, limestone, etc. And each one, you can tell like different biomes. Some of these biomes don't have anything. For example, like this biome here has like a few herbs, but it doesn't have any like mines or anything. So this biome is literally for like this cave over here, this dungeon, and like these NPC towers. And then there's like a bunch of like NPC spawns out here, like wildlife, right outside the border here. And then the other important one is knowing where your PvP zones are. So knowing where the PvP gates is really important because that's where you get like leather. That's where you get your pure iron. Pure iron nodes are in the PvP zone. Definitely want to know where those are relative to your base. Okay, and then at these points of interest, these POIs, outside the red border, we've noticed that certain POIs have random name spawns, and they have placeholder mobs. So you need to figure out what the placeholder mob is. And then once you figure out the placeholder, you just keep killing it, and then hopefully the name spawns. And then once the name spawns, it guaranteed drops the sigil that you need to craft whatever item it is. So the items you're looking for is like mesmerize, lol. What was the other one? But it pretty much like, oh, pacify. Pacify. So pacify, like you cast it on each mob and it makes their threat level and aggro range significantly lower. So it lets you like pass by, NPCs you don't want to like deal with. So you definitely want to be farming those. And I tell you what, the more people who have mesmerize and pacify for the temple dungeon, the better, because it makes pulling mobs, like if you over pull, for example, you can just stun all the mobs if everybody in the group has it. So it's really nice to have. So you definitely want to be scouting out and have your group go out and check the points of interest and look for the named NPCs, and then figure out which sigils they drop, and then just like share with your group, or just write it down, what point of interest it was and then what named mob it was. And then tip 5 is just pretty much just have fun. There's no in-game content per se except the temple, and I'm just gonna be pretty honest. A competent 5-man group that has semi-okay, like tier 2, tier 3 gear, with mesmerize and pikes and like tier 2 health tonics like potions, can clear the temple relatively easy. So again, the in-game content is not really there. The in-game loop isn't there yet. So hopefully they add more temples. Hopefully they just move these riblets on. I honestly hope they just make them all temples to balance out all the starting zones, because like I said in the beginning, the starting zones, it's just unfair that the temple is all the way over here and some of your starting zones are on the other side of the world. And like the running simulator is not fun. So tip 5 is literally just have fun. A lot of people are RPing. They're just building like bases. They don't even know how to craft or anything, and they come by our base and they ask us what to do, if they can have tools and stuff because they don't know how to craft. So, just have fun. Meet your neighbors, talk to them. A lot of people I've met in the game are actually pretty chill, pretty down to earth people and want to just play the game and explore, and they don't really know anything about the game. So. All right, so the unlimited stamp. So you want to get to a red border. Okay, this only works on the red border. And then simply you're just going to keep crossing the red border and you're going to spam click shift. Like you're just going to keep tapping shift while you're running in and out of the red border. And eventually it's going to bug out and you're just going to have unlimited stamp. I don't know why, and it just works. So we'll just go ahead and I'll let you watch here. I'm just literally running through here and I'm just spamming shift while I'm running. And you'll see at the bottom, when you cross the red border, you'll start gaining stamina and you'll be sprinting instead of losing it. So if you keep watching down here, I'm going to regain stamina. Let's run back across. All right, spamming shift, spamming shift. Still didn't get it. See, I can tell I didn't get it because it's not going up. Okay, I just got it. All right, so... no. Did I get it? I thought it was going up. No, I didn't get it. All right, so run back. So yeah, it does take a few tries, but it's definitely worth it if you're near a red border and you're trying to run a really far distance. All right, so spamming shift to the border, and I think I just got it. All right, let's see. Yep. All right, so now I can sprint unlimited distance without using stamina. So that's just a bug. But you can see I'm sprinting and the stamina is going up. So now I can just literally sprint as far as I want into the wildlands. And you should definitely be utilizing this for everything. So get to the red border, spam shift, run back and forth through the red border until you get unlimited stamina, and have fun. You can run. This will last until you either attack somebody or something, or mine or chop a tree. So just use this to get from point A to point B. This is really good to get to the dungeons, by the way. Like if you're running to a dungeon, you 100% want to get this because some of the dungeons are like an hour away, like running with the sprint exploit. So you definitely want to use this. But yeah, that's gonna be everything. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.